Welcome to the Love Your Face podcast. As sisters with a passion for possibility, we will be discussing mindful living through unspoken fashion. Join us in our conversation and discover how everything begins with a thought, even the way you dress. Hello, Therina.
Hello, Marcie.
I'm
so nice to see you today.
It's nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm excited today to introduce you to my friend Monica Grover. She is one of my coworkers. We are both hairdressers, work at the salon, and Monica is, she has two boys. One is 19 and the other one is 5. So she's got a huge difference there. So she's starting all over in the mom world. And she is an amazing lady. She's a school bus driver and she works as a waitress.
Oh, she has 3 jobs?
She's got herself going right now, seriously, a lot. So she's got a lot on her plate. And she is willing to be vulnerable and share some things that I think most women struggle with today or deal with.
Okay.
So, and Monica has been in our 30-day challenge, our last one, and was at our retreat, and she's so fun. So,
yes, I'm excited to chat with her. So we'll do some coaching today, perhaps.
Yes.
Well, and I'm staying at this Airbnb in my hometown, and it is super cute. So if anybody wants to come see what small town Utah looks like, you should stay here. It's a perfect spot.
It is a cute one. And in this quiet little town, no one will bug you because there's not even a store there.
I was thinking, we went to breakfast this morning at JC's Diner.
Okay.
And it takes just as long to get from here to JC's Diner as it would for me to go to breakfast at my house too.
Okay, because of the traffic or how far you have to go there. Marcie, Monica works at JC's. Yeah, I don't know if she's like one day, but I don't know. Anyway, that is her second job, one of her timers.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, she wasn't working there today.
Nope, she doesn't do breakfast. I think she's just weekends.
Oh, you go to JC's Diner and get the scone.
Yes.
Or what we like to call Durkleys.
Yes. No one would know what a Durkley is, but it's a scone.
Why do we call it Durkley?
I think it's because our mom called it that. And her mom called it that. And I wonder if it's something with Switzerland, because her mom's mom was from Switzerland. And I think that's just something that's been passed down of calling it that.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's cute.
I think I remember looking that up to see if that was a Swiss thing, but I couldn't find it.
I did the same thing.
It's a family tradition, not really anything. Why would it be a Durkley? We should ask around to some of our cousins that we never see, get in contact with some of them and see if they call it a Durkley. I'm going to do that.
Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that.
I have a couple of phone numbers, so I will find out why it's a Durkley.
You know, another tradition is we had a family home evening last night.
We did.
First family home evening in a super long time.
Right.
It was fun. So family home evening is just an evening with the family. Yeah. But we did it with our brothers and sisters and a couple of sweeties, and it was just so fun to sit and, you know.
Yeah. It really, family home evening is, no matter how old you are, it's just a time to connect with your family. We live such busy lives. When we were growing up, then it was every Monday we would connect and get together. That was just what you did. Monday was family home evening.
Right. You didn't schedule anything on a Monday because it was family night.
But it's gone away. It's it's important to schedule family time.
I think so too. So it was nice that people showed up for that. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And Marcie made plant-based bento boxes for us. It was so good.
Oh,
Delicious.
fun. It was fun.
Yes.
All right. Well, Monica's here, so we
Yes.
let
Oh,
her
yeah.
in.
Thank you for coming and being with us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Busy schedule.
Yeah. Just a little. I got a little break right now, so that's good.
We're happy that you joined us. So what would you like to talk about?
Well, recently I went to an event, and as I walked in, I could feel the different I don't know, feelings of other people maybe when I walked in the door. But I guess what my question is when you can feel, I feel like I'm being pulled in two directions, and like how can I just focus on myself and focus on maybe or even gathering everybody to be on the same page and not so separate.
Okay. What makes you feel like you're separate?
I can't tell you. I can just feel it. I could do that with a few. I don't know. I do that in a lot of places. Does that make sense?
All right. So you're walking into a space with others and you feel like what kind of feeling do you feel?
I don't know.
Monica, is like you don't know, you feel all these different things and you don't know where to side with, what to go with.
Yeah. Well, this is what I do. Maybe this will help too. Is what happens is I go, and instead of being like myself, I feel like I've been pulled in a few different directions, and then I'm mad at myself for not being true to who I am, if that makes sense. Instead of standing up,
feeling like others' expectations of you that you need to be.
Yes. And I want to be me, and I want to be nice to everybody and love everybody. And I want them to all love each other too. Is that possible?
When do you start feeling this? Is it when you walk in the room, or when do you notice a feeling change?
When I am in the room. Yeah. Cause I went to this event with an open mind. I actually kind of forgot about it and walked in because it was kind of oh yeah, I need to go to this. And so I didn't have a lot of time to think about it. So it's more of when I walked in.
Okay. And you walk into the room, and then do you see people, and that's when it starts? When you look at people?
Probably, maybe. I don't know. I guess I need to pay more attention to where and what starts it, because I guess I haven't, but.
All right. Well, I think that a good place to start is when you walk into a room, you notice that feeling. But I think a lot of times we jump on the feeling and start having the thoughts instead of sitting with the feeling. Because we run from a feeling. We run. If it's uncomfortable, we run away from it, or we resist it instead of just sitting with it and allowing it to be there. And then you can get curious about why that feeling is there. It could be that when you walk into the room and you see a face, a familiar face will trigger a memory in your mind that's attached to a feeling.
Oh, true.
And it doesn't even have to be what's happening in the room right now. You see the face triggers a memory, and the memory brings the feeling into your body.
That makes sense. Yep.
So that's why I say everything begins with a thought.
Right.
So if you have a feeling that you want to feel, like you want to be able to come in and love everybody.
Yes.
You want to come in and love everybody. So what does love mean to you? What does it feel like in your body? Get curious about that. what that means to you and how it feels. And then think of a moment in your life that you felt that way. What was happening? Who was there? What was happening when you felt that? That memory is there too. And you have access to that memory that's going to bring that loving feeling too. And it even could be with that face that you saw. But for some reason, when you see that face, it triggers a different feeling. It could be faces. It doesn't even have to be a face. I'm just using that as an example because we see things and it triggers a thought in our mind, and the thought creates the feeling. So
Makes
do you
so much
understand what I'm saying?
Yes, that makes so much sense.
Can I add something here?
Yes.
With face reading, Monica has healer cheeks. And Monica feels that empathy for people. And she also has the consensus builder cheeks that she needs everyone. She gathers them all in on the team. And I want to throw that in. I wonder if that's what Monica does. And is it really your job, Monica? Do you know?
Yes.
That is what you do. That's what you feel. That's who you are.
That makes sense. That is true. I wouldn't argue with that.
Yeah.
That's probably why it bothers me more than it does other people.
But your thoughts about that, is that a curse or is that a blessing?
Both, right?
Right. So there's the thoughts. So Marcie, help us with how those thoughts can change, that it's your job to make everyone feel good and you feel good, and it's not okay to be uncomfortable, and it's
well, let me suggest this. Okay. So you walk into the room and you say, before you walk into the room, your thought is, it is my job to make sure everybody in the room is comfortable and feels love. So you walk into the room and you notice that people aren't feeling that way. Now you told yourself it was your job to make sure everybody felt a certain way. And when they don't feel, when you feel like it doesn't feel that way, you feel like you're failing. That doesn't feel good inside. But how about this? What if it's your job to make sure that you feel okay, that you are offering the love? And then you come in and you make the offering. It doesn't matter anybody else if they want to receive it or if they want to join in the offering, but you have 100% control of you. And I'm going to go into that room and I'm going to show everybody that I love them and they're welcome in my space.
I love that. Then it puts the focus on me, and I can't control how they feel.
Absolutely.
No control over how they feel. I love that.
Because we think that we do. And so many times we've convinced ourselves that we can control the situation. Mm-hmm. And sometimes just by us handling ourselves, that does enough control, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's no guarantee how people are going to respond. So there's 3 things that we can do. Somebody just said this in a yoga class the other day, and I loved it. So there's 3 ways that we can show up. 3 R's. We can either run, or we can resist, or we can rest. Run, resist, or rest. So we come into a situation.
Is that run away from or run to?
Well, we come into a situation that's uncomfortable. We can either run away from it and just, I'm not going to do that. Let's say for me, it's a yoga class, right? And I'm trying to get myself to go do the splits. I'm working on the splits again. Okay. So it's uncomfortable. So I can say, you know what? I just don't do the splits. I'm too old to do the splits. So I'll make all these excuses. I'm running away from it. I'm not even going to do it. Or I can go in, I can force myself into it. And that hurts too. I can resist it, or I can force it, or I can rest into it. And when I rest, my body melts in at its own pace. And slowly I will get there. You know, when you fight, it does not move. Does not move. But when you rest, you just melt into it. So I've decided that's right. Even when I show up in situations, I can either run from it, I can resist it, or I can rest into it. Run, resist, or rest. And rest meaning just observe the room instead of jumping into the feeling of, okay, it's my job to make everybody comfortable. What can I do to make you feel comfortable? Instead of, okay, why do I feel this way? What can I do about it? Because if you can do something about it, because of what Therina said, this is what your face says about you. If you can do something about it, you will do something about it. But if you can't do anything about it, there's really no reason to stress yourself over it, right?
Right.
So,
right. And I would have to say, talking about run, that's what I would normally do. And I had actually thought about that earlier when I was thinking what I was going to talk about. That normally, if I had walked into a room and felt the way I had felt there, I just would not go back.
Yeah.
And isn't that a sort of running instead of?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And is that what you want?
No.
See, because that's really, that's the next question to ask yourself. Because if it is what you want, if you do want to run and you never want to go back, that's okay too. But ask yourself, is that really what you want? Or do you want to show up? You do want to show up as yourself.
Yeah, I do. In that situation, I do want to show up.
So perhaps it's, I do want to show up and I know who I am and I'm so comfortable with who I am. I know that I can go in there and offer love no matter what. And when you're confident in that, you can totally show up in the room.
Very true.
So can I ask a question? What does that mean to offer love in the room?
To smile, to talk to everybody, to accept them for who they are and love them for, and ask about them maybe. Just a simple smile to somebody makes you feel loved, doesn't it?
So what if you showed up in the room and you smiled and nobody smiled back?
I don't know. Would I keep smiling?
And what would you want to do?
I don't know. I would find out why they weren't smiling. I'd want to ask them a million questions.
So why would you ask? Why aren't you smiling?
I probably would. What's wrong? Why aren't you smiling? What can I do for you?
It's your job.
Because it's your job to make sure that they're smiling.
Yes.
But it's just your job to make sure that you're smiling and you're offering. Of course, it doesn't hurt to ask them. And if you ask them and there's something you can do about it, you'll do it.
Yep.
You want.
That's for sure.
You know, I wonder if that's a little bit of, like, for me, that would be social anxiety, because there's places that I feel uncomfortable and I feel stupid being. But I do feel like I don't feel that so much anymore because I can be me, and it's okay if they don't like me. I'm me. And I don't know if they don't like me. That's a story I'm making.
Right. Correct. Yes.
That's not true.
I tell my teenage son that all the time. How do you know that? I think you think that they're talking about you, and I could bet you that they're not.
You're afraid people don't like you.
Yes.
So think about that.
You feel alone in the room. Yeah.
This is all back to the thought again. When you think they don't like me, what does your brain automatically do?
Puts up a wall.
And what are you thinking in your mind? Well, if they don't like me, what's wrong with me?
Yeah. What's
Why
wrong?
don't they like me? And so then you look inside and you try to find all the things wrong with you.
And it's easy to find things wrong.
But that's another story that just keeps rolling and rolling because the
Right.
thoughts keep
Because
going.
whatever story you pull up and feed grows.
Where focus
Yes.
goes, energy flows. So, of course, they like me because I've got this beautiful smile. They want to be my friend. Why wouldn't they want to hang out with me?
Now that's a little much, Marcie. For some of us.
Listen,
Yeah.
I honestly
Okay, to
think
say
that
I'm still okay. I can be around him. And then usually when you get to know the real people, you understand that they're feeling the same way too.
It's amazing, isn't it? I think that happens more times than we know, that they're having the same exact feelings we are.
Yeah. And so part of being the love in the room is owning you and being comfortable with you. So everybody else can be worried about them and being comfortable with them.
Yep.
Because
Which
you see
brings
them uncomfortable, then you start acting uncomfortable, and then they're uncomfortable because they see you're uncomfortable.
so maybe where I thought I was helping, I was actually spreading my uncomfortableness, huh?
It could be, you know?
Yeah. With that, I picked a word for this year, and it was be authentic, because I want me.
Yes.
But that goes right along with it. And I didn't even know it when I first started talking to you today. So look at that.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes, we like to pick words for the year, and Monica was part of our challenge this last year. How'd that feel?
Good.
What did you think of that?
Well, I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot. I didn't get to do it and listen to as much as I would have liked to, but I made it a goal this year to do that. So I'm going to work on myself, be me.
Yeah. And you have your word for the year now. That was my word last year. One of my words last year. Authentic.
I even wrote it in my book right here. I know. I don't know if you can see that.
Yay.
My book.
That's right.
Yep. It's my book full of notes. So
I love that.
Can I just read you a part of Marianne Williamson's poem that I love? As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So by sitting in that room and being like, yes, I love me, I love you, I'll smile at you, I don't care what you do back, I'm good. So that makes others feel that way too.
yes.
And it might take a minute. So because we're used to walking in and taking care of everybody, maybe this time it's just you taking care of you and people don't smile back. But the next time you show up, then you smile and maybe they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to smile this time. And the next time, and it just gets easier as we practice a new way. I love that, Therina. That's perfect.
That was perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to be reactors, do we?
No, but how
ourselves and not react to what we think they think that.
Right. Well, is that helpful to you?
Oh my gosh, so helpful. Thank you so much. That put a whole new light on it. And I didn't even realize that I was blaming people until you started talking. And I realized I was blaming people and not necessarily that I need to blame myself, but that I just didn't realize that I was still thinking it was their fault for feeling that way instead of, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think we don't understand our power.
Yeah.
We don't understand our power, but we are creators. That's what we are. We're creators. So understanding that power.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm learning a little bit at a time. It's quite a learning process, but I also can say how freeing it is to realize that I can't control what other people do. I can only control my reaction to the things. And that's really that I still have more to work on, obviously, but that has changed my outlook on a lot of things. And as simple as a party that I put together, and I think people should act this way when they get there, and they don't, and then I'm frustrated the whole time and don't have fun at the party because they didn't act the way I wanted them to, but they didn't know that.
Right. Well, I think
So-
that one of the keys to that is we do have expectations for people. We do, because it's the human way.
Right.
And maybe, I mean, we can't control other people, but if we feel strongly about our expectations, like, I expect you to not hit, right? We don't punch
Yeah,
people
right.
when we're
Right.
upset. We don't punch people. That's my expectation. So if you show up and I see you punch somebody, I'm going to say something
Right.
and let you know that I don't think that's appropriate. That's my expectation. But a lot of times we have these expectations of people and they aren't even aware of it.
Right.
But when they don't hold true to our own expectations, and we're upset and they don't even know.
Right. Yep. Yep.
And then that just grows too.
Right.
It's okay to have an expectation, but when people don't follow through on that, it's okay for you to say, hey, guess what? This is what I think. Just so you know.
Yeah.
For next time. For next time. We don't hit
For next
people.
time. This is, yeah, right. Right.
Yeah. This is a practice that I have to remind myself too, because sometimes I know this, I've been practicing it, but I still need a reminder when we're so close to the situation. Like, I have Therina remind me, what are you thinking? What's your thought about that?
To have people around you that understand that and remind you to come back to reality,
Right.
stories.
Yeah, it's okay to just take a minute and say, okay, what am I thinking about this? What is this that I'm creating for myself?
Yep. It's awesome.
We like to ask everybody what their superpower is.
Okay.
I feel like my superpower is love. To walk into the room and love everybody instantly. And Therina, she thinks that her superpower, no, she knows. She knows her superpower is seeing the beauty in everybody.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So what do you think your superpower is?
Okay. I think mine would be, I would hope it would be love. Kind of the same.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
And even when we accept it as our superpower, we still have to, it's just like playing the piano. If I stop playing the piano for years, I don't know how to play the piano anymore. You have to keep practicing that superpower and making it powerful, using it.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Well, this was fun. Thank you so much, Monica, for sharing part of your day. And we look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for all the information.
All right. Well, have a good day.
Okay. You too. Thank you. Stay warm.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye.